President Lula's inauguration is taking place as we speak today on the 1st of January 2023. They're celebrating in Brasilia as we speak, and there are rumors that Bolsonaro has refused to take part in the inauguration and not hand over the faixa, the presidential ribbon. He's fled. Apparently he's gone to the United States, but let's see anyway. The inauguration is today, so if you get to watch it, you'll see for yourselves. E aí, Beleza, vindo, what's up, what's good, and welcome to the Brazilian podcast with me, your host, Stephen, reporting live from New Year's Day. Happy New Year, Feliz Ano, NOVO. Vindo, welcome if you're new to the podcast, the Brazilian podcast where we talk about Brazil. This is your guide on how to live in Brazil, and we are starting the new year just to say Happy New Year. So just wanted to do a quick episode giving a mini review of the year, talking about the passing of some great legends. 2022 was a great year for me, mainly because it was the year that I got to see my entire family again, and I'm very happy to have done that. That was a massive achievement, a big tick off my list of things that I wanted to achieve for the year. So I'm really glad that I did that. Obviously, having lived in Brazil for such a long time, it hasn't been possible to see everyone all together and at one place, and we managed to do that. So I am showing a lot of gratidão por isso. Well, 2022 was great for a lot of great reasons, but we did lose some of our legends. In general, in the whole world, seems to have lost some people that are quite important. But just from a Brazilian side, some of the famous Brazilians that passed away in 2022 last year were Gal Costa, Brazilian singer, who passed away. We have Elza Soares, who is a legend singer. One of her famous songs is Olhos Coloridos, which is an absolute banger, which is a song that gets sung in a lot of karaoke bars and stuff like that. Like, you can hear that a lot in Brazil. Like, everybody loves that song, everybody sings it, everybody sings along. Another song of hers that I really like is it A Menina no Fim do Mundo? Or A Mulher do Fim do Mundo? Yeah, Mulher. Which I discovered when I was watching the series 3%, which is a Netflix series about like sort of this post-apocalyptic kind of world where only 3% of the population are allowed to sort of live in this utopia where the rest of the world have to sort of live in squalor, aka Communidades, favelas and that sort of thing. So it's a really good series anyway. I'll probably do an episode about it one day. I recommend you watch it. But Elza Soares is responsible for some of the soundtrack, and yeah, she passed away this year, so rest in power to her. Another person that died this year from the royal front, another legend, someone who is I probably would refer to as the king, is Pelé, who is obviously a footballing legend. Most people have probably heard of him. It's probably their introduction to Brazilian culture if they're not Brazilian, especially Brazilian football culture anyway. Someone who played over 92 games for Brazil's seleção and scored, I think it was 77 goals. So he died at the age of 82 in late December. So rest in power, King Pelé. You did a lot for a lot of people. In terms of Pelé, we'll probably do an episode very soon regarding his life and his achievements, as he is such a big figure. But it's good to sort of pay respects now as we're talking about 2022. And sadly, he wasn't able to join us in 2023. Also in 2022, there was the World Cup, the Qatar World Cup, which happened in November/December, which was crazy. Honestly, one of the best World Cups I think I've ever seen in my life. And it definitely had the best final I think I've ever seen in terms of all finals. Maybe the Real Madrid Juventus final, I think it was 2015, beats that, but that's like it's up there. Was it 2014? No, 15, Champions League final. But anyway, France versus Argentina, where Argentina winning it was amazing. And Brazil not making it to the final was a huge upset. And I was devastated, as I'm sure our friend of the Communidade. Alex Lira was too, and all the rest of the Brazilians I know, and anyone else who was cheering for Brazil. Just hope that they do better in 2026. In terms of national wins for Brazil, for some it might be seen as a loss. For quite a few, it is a little bit hard to take. But for the majority, as it proves, the new president Lula, the third-time president Lula da Silva Nascimento, or President-elect Lula, was voted in late October 2022 as he beat Jair Bolsonaro to become president for the third time. And his inauguration is taking place as we speak today on the 1st of January 2023. So this is something to celebrate or be okay about or not be okay. But, it is what it is as far as I can see. They're celebrating in Brasilia as we speak. And there are rumors that Bolsonaro has refused to take part in the inauguration and not hand over the faixa, the presidential ribbon. He's fled. Apparently he's gone to the United States, but let's see. Anyway, the inauguration is today, so if you get to watch it, you'll see for yourselves. And one of our Communidade friends is there at the moment, so we'll have her on the podcast, Monique da Paula, very soon, and she'll be able to tell us about that. So bringing in the new year in Brazil means making wishes, fazendo oferendas, and following the correct customs and traditions that make these things possible. One of these is obviously wearing white on New Year's Eve. Most people in Brazil do this. Now, this is a tradition that I believe came from Oxalá, which is the Candomblé African religion god, and it was then adopted by Roman Catholics, evangelists, and stuff like that. So that's why it's a big tradition in Brazil. Another thing people do, talking about colours, is they'll wear different colour underwear. I covered this on a podcast earlier. People will wear different colours. In Brazil, you wear different coloured underwear. White for peace and harmony. Blue for tranquilidade, friendship. Yellow for dinheiro, money and luck. Rosa, aka pink, for love. Vermelho, red, passion. Laranja, orange, success in your professional life. Green is for saúde, health, and purple is for inspiração, inspiration. These are all good things. Depending on the year and what I want, I will make sure I wear a certain underwear. This year I wore red because I wanted passion. So just if you hear any passionate things happen to me in the year, you know why it is taking place. And yes, I did check my underwear, and it is New Year's Day, but, it's also Sunday. All right. I believe my favorite tradition is the Pulando de Sete Ondas. This is the jumping of 7 waves. Jumping 7 waves, making 7 wishes, 7 things that you want to happen to you or your loved ones or people you care about, or things that happen in the world for 2023, for the new year. Jumping 7 waves is something that most people do, and it can be quite funny because you can have a lot of people in the sea at the same time jumping their waves, and there's not a lot of space. That's happened to me a few times in Copacabana. But this is a tradition that most people make sure that they do. Obviously, you need to be by the sea or at the sea in order to do that, so by the beach or whatever. This is a great tradition because it's sort of gives you some kind of troca, some kind of trade. You actually did something. The same with fazendo oferendas, the same for making offerings. You actually have to do something in order for it to happen. A bit like the clothes as well, obviously you make the effort to wear the clothes. So this is something that I always do. It doesn't have to be on New Year's Eve if you can't be near a beach. It doesn't have to be New Year's Day. Last year, for example, I was in Goiânia New Year's, and I didn't get back to Salvador until I think it was the end of January, and then that's when I jumped my Sete Ondas. So as long as you do it basically in that year, maybe you have like 3 months or something. Comunidade, if you know, how long do you have to pular seus Sete Ondas before it's too late? What is the prazo? What is the deadline? But that is something that is amazing to do. If you don't have a beach near you, or if you can't get to one, then I suppose you can do it in a different kind of way, which is still symbolic. Some do's and don'ts. So Do eat lentils on New Year's Eve. Do eat homa, which is pomegranates. These are good things. Pomegranates brings wealth. Lentils represent, I think it's health. No, good luck. Aves, poultry. Any animal that walks backwards, you should not eat. Okay, I'm not a food expert. I can't tell you what animals don't do that, but I'm sure if you're superstitious, you probably already have these things down anyway. And if not, just leave us a comment. Let us know what animals we shouldn't be eating in and around New Year's Eve. So yeah, these are the things that people do on New Year's Eve / New Year's Day to bring in the new year. And which is one that you've done before? What is one that I've missed out that is quite good, that people should probably get into? Communidade, let us know. Also, Communidade, of course, what great things do you want for yourself in 2023? Let us know, Communidade. Let us push for that together. In terms of the podcast, Communidade, I want to hear more from you guys, just because, we're in this together. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed and who is still with us on this journey. It has been a journey, and we aim to have some more episodes regarding some of the stuff that has happened that I've mentioned. Obviously, we need to speak about Pele and the legend that he is and the football that he brought to us. This is the guy that did everything. First, we need to talk about the passing of the fascia, the presidential ribbon, as Lula has become the new president of Brazil. I'm really looking forward to some great events that will happen this year, one being the carnival. So we'll be talking about that. But any other thing that you think we should talk about, please let us know in the comments. Look forward to hearing from you guys. On that note, just want to say I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Obrigado. Até logo. Peace and Feliz Ano Novo.
Yeah.